All right, let's dive into a real geological cold case, a mystery on a planetary scale. We're going hunting for a ghost, one that's been hiding deep within the Earth for 60 million years. And I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. We're not talking about your car keys or a wallet or even a lost city. We're talking about a massive piece of our planet's surface. How does something that huge just vanish?
It sounds completely impossible, right? This quote really nails the core of a puzzle that had geologists stumped for decades. A huge piece of the Earth's crust was just gone from the geological record, a giant gaping hole in our planet's story.
So we're going to treat this just like the cold case it is. We're on the hunt for a vanished continent, dusting for geological fingerprints to figure out where this massive piece of our world went.
You know, every good detective story kicks off at the scene of the crime. And in our case, that means we need to examine the Earth's own strange scars, the clues that were left behind across this vast stretch of land.
So, our investigation takes us way up north, deep beneath the rugged, beautiful landscape of the Yukon in Canada. See, geologists who were studying this area realized that the rocks there were telling a story that just didn't add up. It didn't make any sense with what they thought they knew about Earth's history.
The Earth actually left behind a really fascinating trail of clues. First off, there were these strange magma signatures, think of them like chemical fingerprints in molten rock, that pointed to some mysterious heat source deep down. Then there was this unusual belt of volcanic rock that, according to all the standard tectonic models, just shouldn't have been there. And maybe the biggest clue of all, they found clear evidence of an ancient ocean basin right where everyone thought there was only solid land. These weren't just little inconsistencies, they were huge, glaring contradictions. So, with all these bizarre clues piling up, the hunt for this geological ghost was officially on. A team of scientific investigators started sifting through all the evidence, not with magnifying glasses, but with some pretty incredible technology designed to see deep inside our planet. And this is where the story gets really, really cool. These geological detectives basically gave the entire planet a CAT scan, peering deep down into the mantle to find something that had been lost for tens of millions of years.
So how in the world did they do it? Well, first, they used this amazing technique called mantle tomography. By analyzing seismic waves from earthquakes traveling through the planet, they could build a 3D map of the Earth's deep interior. Second, they built these incredibly sophisticated computer models to simulate how tectonic plates have been shifting and grinding for millennia. And then, and this is the brilliant part, they digitally rewound the clock, running these simulations backwards for 60 million years to see if they could finally make all the pieces of the puzzle fit.
And you know what? All of that high-tech detective work, it paid off, big time. After decades of head-scratching and confusion, they were about to unmask the culprit and finally solve the case of the vanishing plate.
Okay, but before the big reveal, there's one key concept you've got to get: a subducted plate. It's pretty simple. When two tectonic plates collide, one is often forced to dive down, or subduct, underneath the other, sinking deep into the Earth's super hot mantle. The key thing is, it doesn't just disappear, it dives. Keep that in mind. So when the scientists finally got to look at those 3D maps of the mantle, they saw it. Deep, deep below the Yukon, a colossal slab of cold, dense rock. It was a total anomaly. This massive object just lurking in the mantle where absolutely nothing of that size was supposed to be. And this was it. This was the ghost. They had found the missing piece, a long-lost tectonic plate that had been pushed down, subducted millions and millions of years ago. And in a really fitting tribute, they gave it the perfect name, the Resurrection Plate. So let's break down why this was such a game changer. The old model on the left, it left all those weird scars in the Yukon totally unexplained. It was basically a map with a giant hole in it. But the new model, with the resurrection plate put back into the story, suddenly made perfect sense. Its subduction millions of years ago explained the weird magma, the volcanic belt, all the other clues. The case was finally closed.
Okay, so we found a lost plate. That's amazing, but why does it really matter to us today, living up here on the surface? Well, as it turns out, cracking this case has some huge implications.
Finding resurrection is so much more than just a little update to a textbook. It's like we got a brand new user manual for our own planet. This more complete map of the Earth's guts helps us better predict real-world hazards like earthquakes and volcanoes. It can even act as a kind of treasure map, pointing us toward valuable mineral deposits. And maybe the most exciting part? It proves that our planet is still packed with these incredible secrets, with huge discoveries just waiting to be made, right beneath our feet.
I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. This isn't just some minor correction to an old map. What these scientists pulled off is basically the geological equivalent of discovering a lost continent. Not on some faraway planet, but one that's been buried deep inside our own world this whole time.
And that really just leaves us with one last fascinating question. The resurrection plate was a ghost we didn't even know we should be looking for. So it makes you wonder, right? What else is down there? What other geological ghosts are still hiding in the depths, just waiting for us to find them?